Hi, I'm Ron Ruskai. I'm going to be tying an Antron Prince tonight. It's a variation on the Prince that's been around for an awfully long time. I tend to like flies that have the tradition plus some of the new synthetics involved. Being a perfect fly for that, the Peacock body. But I replaced the biots with Antron. That's the tail and the wing. Goose biots just don't hold up. Wild brook trout just tear them up. So by using Antron in place of the biot, I have a fly that I can fish for seasons versus a couple brook trout. I also like wings that are translucent. I like the effect. I like how the fish see white Antron. So I'm going to start tying that. Let me get this one out. That one wasn't a bead-head. I wanted to show you both. I'm going to tie a bead-head tonight. I fish them both. Early season, I absolutely love tungsten bead-heads for early season. High water, cold water when the fish are hiding down close to the bottom.
Bead size.
I'm tying on a size 14 hook. I'm using a 3/32 bead. I'm also using uni A-dot thread. I use uni A-dot almost everything except streamers and large nymphs. Okay, let's get a piece of brown Antron. The hook I'm using is an Orvis up-eye. I tend to like up-eye hooks on beads. I like up-eye hooks on nymphs and wet flies. I'm going to lock that in. Take it back to the bend. Give it a little trim. Okay, we're going to put some Peacock on that as well. And we'll trim that tail when we get this in. I use 3 strands of Peacock. I mean, you probably could use one more if you want. I find 3 just works well. Yeah, let's lock that in. Back it up. I'm using size small gold wire. Let's trim that Peacock first, get that out of the way. And let's lock that in. Okay, move it forwards. Let's trim that tail, get that out of the way. I like to keep this short. I don't do a long tail on this. The biots are longer. I've had more success with a short stubby tail with this fly. And let me throw a half hitch on that. Okay. Start spinning. Let's trim that one out of the way. Let's trim those out of the way. I usually go forwards, reverse it. These are long hooks. These are 2x long. You can tie them on a 1x. I do that all the time. Does well. Body shape isn't real critical here. I think the key to Peacock is the bugginess.
You strung Herl or you use it from the eye?
What was that, Charlie?
Use Herl that's strung?
On this one I do. I do use strung on this one.
What But you ever use it from the eye?
Absolutely. When I'm doing finer work with Peacock, I use it from the eye. Once again, this is not a real fine fly, so not that important. And let's get our copper rib.
Anyone else is welcome to ask questions.
Is that copper or gold?
I'm sorry, gold, not copper. Now let's tie that off. Let's lock everybody down nice and tight. Okay, next step is the wing. Piece of white Antron. And once again, I just, I'm a real believer in gold beads and Antron. If you look in my fly box, majority of my nymphs are tied with bead heads. And of course for early season, I'm going to use tungsten. Okay, let's lock him down. Trim him up. And I trim the wing to the length of the tail. When this fly is wet, it looks so very different than the way you'll see it in this vise right now. Okay, let's lock everybody down and we'll throw some legs. I'm just using just a soft piece of Hackle brown. I don't want anything stiff, I want it to move. So I'm going to keep it soft. And we're going to pull off a little bit here for legs. And once again, I don't really believe this is as critical as some of the other parts of this fly, but why not? Legs always work. And let's lock that down. Let's trim these butt ends. Okay, let's lock everybody down. And I like, because it's 8/0, it's very thin, so do a few wraps to make a decent little head on it. And then a whip finish. And with a bead, a whip finish is always easiest than trying to do a half hitch over the bead. And of course, I would put a little drop of head cement on the thread, lock that in, and that's it.